am I the only one who feels like I have to choose between the specs that I want, the quality of the guitar, and the budget? Well, if you're also like me and you want that F on the headstock, if you know what I'm saying, you want to check this out. Coming right up. Okay, I won't beat around the bush. I'll stop teasing. This is the Fesley, see it's an F, the Fesley FST 1000 guitar. It's a S-style guitar. And I don't usually do guitar reviews anymore, but I decided to do this one. You know, a lot of companies reach out and they have that $150 or $100 offering. And I find that those are really just lacking. Sometimes broken hardware, sometimes a really bad feel to the guitar and cheap. This is not one of those guitars. It's a little higher price point, but man, the specs are incredible. And the hardware is incredible. So what I thought I'd do is take you through the specs and the hardware, give you some sound samples, and then make a couple of conclusions. I did get this guitar in exchange for doing this review, so you can take that for what it's worth. But let's go through, we'll do the specs and the hardware first, and then the sound. Well, the guitar arrived delivered by the USPS the same way it always seems to be delivered, upside down, in the snow, lying on the ground. But it was packaged well. It was inside this little gig bag, which is fully functional. And the gig bag had a couple of normal accessories like this cable. And it had a really cool accessory here, a fret and string eraser. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But let's get to the guitar now and check it out. As you can see, I opted for the black finish, and it's even got a little bit of metallic sparkle in there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I think it looks pretty nice. Pearloid pick guard, and then cream color on the pickups and on the knobs, which is pretty cool. Now the pickups and all the electronics and the hardware, with one exception, which I'll tell you about, which is really cool, is all Wilkinson, which is also in and of itself is pretty cool. Wilkinson makes some great stuff. Very high quality switches. The knobs are easy to turn, and they're also very responsive pots. And then the tremolo is a 2-point tremolo. And I've used some Wilkinson tremolos before, and they're some of the best in the business. So I really like that about this. Okay, other than that, what else have we got? Well, basic Strat contours, but look at that. It's got a little bit of a rounded neck joint, which is cool. So easier to access those upper frets. It's got a roasted maple neck, which is pretty neat. Oh, and check this out. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got Grover tuners. I'm not kidding you. These are Grovers, and they're really super smooth tuners. Bone nut, and then the frets. Frets are very comfortable and excellent leveling on the frets, so I like the fret work a lot. Now, I will mention one pet peeve, and that's the fret ends. Everybody goes crazy about these fret ends. It makes such a big deal about it, but there's where the foam sander comes in. If you have a foam sander in 5 minutes, you will have very smooth fret ends, okay? It just takes a little bit of patience to just sand those off, and I can tell you right now, super smooth, and I just use the foam sander. Now, I have my own, but they sent one of those fret edge tools, or sanders, which is really nice, really low grit, and there you go. You can do it in 5 minutes. So there's a quick rundown on the specs. Really excellent specs, but does it sound any good? Well, let's check it out. We're going to do the clean sounds first. Now, I'm telling you, I'm just using the amp, the guitar, and my fingers. That's it. No pedals, and I'm not going to post-process any of the sounds either. I'm using a Fender Deluxe Reverb Tone Master amp, so it's a garden variety amp. And I've got the bass and treble set at 7. I do have a touch of reverb on the amp, maybe 3 or so. All right, clean sounds now. Okay, now we're going to put some dirt on it. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're just going to turn up the amp. I'm going to turn up the amp to around 8 and let the guitar speak for itself. Again, no pedals. I'm not using any pedals. So it's just the guitar, my fingers, and the amp. All right, let's check out the dirty sounds. Because we have a humbucker in the bridge, I'm going to demo a little bit of the lead sounds on this one. So in addition to what I had on the dirty sounds, I'm going to kick on a Noble's ODR. It's a moderate gain pedal on top of it all. So that's the only other pedal I'm using. I'm just going to demo this with the humbucker. Here's some lead sounds. You know, I didn't demo the tremolo, so let's do that quickly. Yeah, smooth trem, stays in tune, and it's a compression variety, so you don't screw it in. That's my favorite. So real nice. The Wilkinson trem, I'd expected that. Well, the verdict is, I think it's pretty strong. Honestly, I'd feel comfortable gigging with this guitar. It's got good hardware. I think it sounds pretty good. Yeah, solid. Tuners are Grovers. Hey, there's a little bit of a discount code in the link in the description too, if you want to check that out. You're welcome to. All right, if you like this video review, there's more here. You can check that out. I'll see you on down the road, and rock on.